Hi, my name is Rachael Burson. I'm from Cortez High School, and I spent my internship in UH Manoa studying plants. Okay, so my interest is in biotechnological engineering. So modern agriculture is facing a really interesting problem in the fact that we need to feed more and more people as the population grows on less and less land as we house that population. So modern genetic studies are looking into how to make a plant grow fruit faster and bigger to feed more people with the fruit produced in less time, in less space. So I was interested in looking in fruit production by genetic engineering in plants. Yeah, world hunger. So I originally looked into UH Manoa because their head professor, Dr. Manshart, is working on papayas, a really Hawaiian plant, and making them larger, and the fruit studies I was sort of interested in. Unfortunately, Dr. Manshart was at the end of his professor and looking towards retirement, so he deferred me to one of his assistant professors, Dr. Musinski, who is studying the very tropical plant of corn. So I went to Hawaii to study corn, and in the lab we had... Yeah. So we had Dr. Musinski there, and then his lab leader, Dr. Angel, and then we had a doctorate graduating student who I don't have up here, Dylan. What's really interesting about Dylan is he was doing his doctorate defense while I was up there, so I got to watch the development and the presentation of a doctorate defense in which he succeeded in getting his doctorate, so that was really cool. We also had Chelsea, Luke, and Elliot, who are all undergraduate students at the University of Manoa. So in my time at the lab, I got to do electrophoresis, which Georgia also did, and she's explained it really well. So I got to take samples from the field and then do studies on them to see if they matched the genotyping that we had bred them for. And if they did, then we could do phenotyping and other research and crossbreed them, knowing they had the genetic background we needed because it is a genetic research field. So these are some images of my electrophoresis. I also had what we called a NAM project. Essentially, we were looking at phenotyping of plants. Phenotypes are the physical attributes of a plant, the physical aspects of them. We were specifically looking at rate of growth, because if you can get a plant to grow faster, you can get it to fruit faster, you can get that food to people faster. So what we wanted to look at was a way to take rate of growth data in the field. Without them being on conveyor belts, just growing a plant in the field and being able to discover how fast that plant is growing. So Pintern, a friend of mine, he's actually not through Internship, he's from Thailand, named Yash. He helped me develop what we lovingly call the box of death. We call it that because by the end of its construction, it had so many sharp ends that it was very difficult to handle and very sharp. And we would use this box to take images of plants that we would then analyze, and we would take the plant and essentially make an area of green pixels, and that area over time would be our rate of growth. I also got to work in the genetic field. I did so much work in the genetic field, in fact, that I'm almost certain I could recreate it verbatim if I had to. I got to cross plants and do phenotyping of different plants. This here is a bag that we put over the male part of the corn to collect the pollen to then cross to the correct female organ in order to get the genetic makeup we need to do the cross and the research we want. My host family was the Lakes. The Lakes actually went on a vacation relatively early into my internship. They had a independent studio in front of their own household, so I got to live on my own in Oahu in Honolulu, so a big city. And so I got to live on my own pretty much thanks to these guys, and I just really wanted to thank them. They're amazing. This is Ollie. He's the cutest little boy ever. In my free time, I got to do a bunch of beach trash cleanup. So we'd go around the beach. This was a beach relatively close to my house, and we would pick up trash, which was really fun. I also got to go to a Japanese culture, festival, and we did a lot of dancing and singing, and that was really fun. I got to go to Ala Moana, for the beach Ala Moana, not to be confused with Manoa, which is where I studied, for the 4th of July fireworks, and it was a really beautiful place to be. It was super amazing to be able to experience the culture. My advice to future interns is to apply. My high school Cortez. We had about 13 people come in the interest group. We had a total of 3 people finish their applications, or 4. 3 or 4 people finish their applications. And it's amazing. There is no reason to not apply to this. It's so much fun, and you absolutely can do it. Thank you.